Hi, I'm Chris Carter, course developer and instructor at Point Blank. This tutorial gives you a flavour of what you can expect on our online courses. If you want to develop your music production skills further, head to Point Blank Music School to find out more about the courses we offer in London, Los Angeles, Ibiza and online. As well as all the instruments and ensembles that we find within Reaktor that are synths and samplers and things like that, we also have a lot of effects included, and we're not restricted to just using these on Reaktor instruments. And to demonstrate this, what I'm going to do is load up Reaktor as a plugin on a channel strip, and I could do this on a master output as well, but in this case I'm just going to do it on a single channel. And here's Reaktor 6, and what I need to do is find all of these effects not as ensembles, which are the ENS files, but as instrument files. And I can do this by going to Files, and you can see ISM. So an ISM is an instrument. And at the moment, inside my Files folder, you can see that I'm in Applications, and within Applications, I've got my Native Instruments folder, and within that, Reaktor 5, and it would be Reaktor 6 if you'd never been a Reaktor 5 user. And there are all of the things that we find normally as ensembles as instruments. So for instance, I'm in a sequences folder and I'm looking at the sequences as ISM. And this is great when you want to make your own ensemble using a number of existing instruments. And if I click on the effects folder here, you can see a whole load of effects, and these are all also included as ISM instrument files. So what I need to do is find a way to get audio through Reaktor passing through these effects. And fortunately, this is a very simple thing to do. So we're going to go up to our pop-up menu here and say File, New Ensemble. And when we do that, we can see the panel and the structure down here. And we can see inputs and outputs of Reaktor. These are not connected at the moment. So if I tried to play a sound from Massive in this case, you can see we can't hear it because there's a broken signal. If I was to connect the inputs to the outputs, now we have audio passing directly through Reaktor. It's not being affected in any way. But what we want to do is pass that audio signal through some effects. So let's just look at one or two simple examples. Let's say I'm looking for some kind of reverb. I'm just going to scroll down here to Space Master, and I'm going to load a stereo instance of that. And simply all I need to do is connect the inputs. As you can see, we've got left and right to the outputs, and now we'll have audio passing through Reaktor but also passing through the Space Master. And what I can do is close this structure window down now by clicking on the X. If I want to resize the panel, I can do that here. I could turn the browser off and shrink this down once I wanted to use it as a plugin. And there you go. Let's say I wanted to add in something else though, and use Reaktor like a channel strip and add in some other effects in some kind of chain or series. What I can do now is go back to the split panel, find something else that I want to use and load that in as well. So for instance, something like Echo Mania. This is a delay plugin with an LFO controlling the filter. So let's say I want to go through Echo Mania first and then through the Space Master. I just hook them up in series in this way. And there you go. If I want to take Space Master out of the equation, I can just backspace, that's gone. And now I'm just hearing Echo Mania. And all of the instruments, all of the effects that you load as instruments, they all come with their own snapshots. And if I want to access these, I can do so up here. Or I could come up here and go to the presets. Let's just return to our list of instruments and Maybe let's just try one more. I'm going to scroll up to Anima and load this up. And this is a set of bandpass filters. And this gives us quite a lot of movement to a sound. It's particularly good on things like strings and pads and sustained sounds. This is quite quiet, so I'm just going to turn up the drive here. And let's just add one more and then think about what we would want to do if we wanted to save this as part of a project. So what I've done here is I've loaded up Spring Tank, which is an emulation of a spring reverb. So this is nice for kind of old school, quite lo-fi reverb effects. And what this means now is I'll have two sets of snapshots available for each of these. If I click on Anima, I see the snapshots for the filter bank. If I click on Spring Tank, I see the snapshots for that. So if I decide that I want to change snapshots or that I want to save the instrument, then what I'm going to need to do is create a new version of this and save it inside my project folder in the same way that I would do with regular Reaktor ensembles. So I could come up here, select the ensemble where it says new. Let's go into properties where we can name that up. Again, I'm looking at the instrument here. I want to look at the whole ensemble. So if I click on the background of the ensemble, you can see it says ensemble new. So I could name this up. Before saving as an ensemble into my project folder. Save ensemble as. And having done that, having created that local copy, what I could now do is save snapshots for each of those instruments in the same way that I would do if I was working with a synth. Having created those snapshots, what I can now do, save my ensemble again into the project folder. When I reload the project, everything will be there. So what this means is we have access to a lot of effects here, all kinds of things, filters, delays, reverbs, amp simulators, distortions, compression, etc. So a lot of effects that are well worth investigating.